Hello again, everybody. This is Craig Evans of Autism Hangout, and thank you for tuning into this Autism Hangout special report. You know, it's a commonly heard story. Someone, usually severely challenged by any number of life's issues, rises above adversity to achieve great things. Now, such stories are inspiring and motivating, and there are dozens of great books out there today as it relates to autism that are mostly written by the parents that are documenting such success stories. But now there's a filmmaker. It's called Triple Knot Productions, and it's bringing these truly wonderful and amazing stories to the big screen. With me today is the founder of Triple Knot, Brian Dery. Brian, welcome. It's nice to have you here.
You too, Craig. Thank you for having me.
Well, these stories of adversity and challenge, they motivate all of us, and we cannot watch something like that and not be inspired. And as a filmmaker, you've got a background. You went to Full Sail, so you know what you're doing. But how did you first get excited about bringing stories of motivation to the screen?
Well, it was my personal tragedy that happened to me 12 years ago. I was completely paralyzed from the neck down. Was told I would never walk again, never recover. And I, for the most part, gave in and gave up. But the giving up didn't last that long because I had this fight within me to overcome. And obviously, I recovered from the paralysis. And then I finally fulfilled my dream of going to the film industry and working. And today I give back by making these motivational films about triumph over tragedy.
And I know that in the roster of films that you've already done, you look for people that have been challenged in many ways, be it physical. This particular case, you have been really inspired by autism. Now, what was your inspiration about autism that caused you to turn your lens towards some of these stories?
Well, I have a family member who has a 12-year-old son with autism, and we're a close-knit family. And with every film, I try to learn something new. And I have this cousin, and Michael. We always get together at family functions, and you kind of, being the human nature, you kind of steer away from things until you become more educated in something. And yes, it's true. 5 of my previous films have been of a physical disability, and so I wanted to learn something new. And I tried developmental disability, autism, if you will, and that's what inspired me. Once I got to learning that, I knew that autism spectrum is what it is. It is a spectrum. It's very wide, and there's lots to learn.
Yeah, well, clearly you've been touched personally by it. The name of your film about autism is called what?
Walking in the Dark, Finding the Light in Autism.
Okay, and because I know that the focus of your films is not to let the human body overcome the human spirit, so you're using the light and dark parallel here to talk about autism.
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about the autism film.
Well, the autism film, Craig, is what it is that during this research, this has been going on for a year and a half, and originally the film was going to focus 3 families. And it was going to be from the youngest child to like a young adults, from the less severe of the spectrum to the most severe of the spectrum to the least severe. And in my research, I was finding out there's lots of different types of therapies, lots of different types of levels of autism, severities. And what happened was that I was finding out more and more that these families, the parents, were given this grim diagnosis and no guidance, no direction. And I'm like, what's wrong with this picture? So what I wanted to do, and I'm no expert on autism, but what I wanted to do was build an educational tool, a resource tool that will help guide these parents, who are walking in the dark. Let them know about support group meetings. Let them know about the different types of therapies out there. Let them know a brief history of what is autism, what's going on, what they can expect. And so far, it's working out great. And, we're looking forward to the premiere in 2 weeks.
Now, one of the certain types of therapy you studied was with Dr. Nelson Manet in Florida. Is that correct?
Yeah, Dr. Nelson Manet. He had a news story done about him and one of the kids that's in the film. And it was a therapy I never heard of. And 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm watching this news segment, and I had to contact him. And within a few days, we met, and I was just totally blown away by this therapy. And it's like, it's got to be broadcasted to all the families out there who don't know about it. I'm not going to say it works for everybody, because every child reacts differently to therapies.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I'm so appreciative of the fact that you have found this as a niche for development for your creativity, because right now between the researchers and the experts and the people that are doing work discovering these solutions and the general population, we've got very little connection other than things like what I'm hoping to do here at Autism Hangout, and newsmakers such as you, storytellers that can go out and capture some of these stories of hope and bring them to the general population. So you've got a premiere of this movie coming up sometime soon. Do you care to talk about that a bit?
Yeah, June 5th at the Marshall Student Center here at the University of South Florida in Tampa. CARD, which is the Center for Autism-Related Disabilities, they're sponsoring it, and they've endorsed it, and so they're helping me out. And we got it going on June 5th. Admission is free. The doors will open at 7 p.m. The film will start shortly after. We're going to have a musical performance by Jimmy McGirt, who is on the spectrum himself. And I met Jimmy, and he's very, very inspiring. Mm-hmm. And so the film has got a running time of 1 hour and 35 minutes. Mm-hmm. And after the film, we're going to give like a little small motivational presentation. Mm-hmm. And we'll break up. And if anybody has any questions for the different families that are there or the different medical professionals there, then we'll have a good time letting the public get informed.
Very helpful. Brian, how can people find out more information on, first off, on the premiere, and then find more information on your film?
They can send an email to Triple Knot Productions at info@triplenotproductions.org, and knot is spelled with a K. Mm-hmm. They can log on to the website at www.triplenotproductions.org, and in the documentary section, if they scroll to the bottom, they'll see the Walking in the Dark banner. Click on that. There's a synopsis of the film with the trailer. And if they want to, they can call the 800 number at 800-586-9216. That number pipes directly into my personal cell, and they can call me any time of the day. I'd love to talk to anybody about it, because Craig, the ultimate goal here is to just get those families who don't know about the different types of therapies, but again, to know about that there is hope, and we are aiming to restore hope on June 5th.
That's outstanding. Brian, your motivation is clear, and your passion is equally as clear. Now, I know that you're a 501c organization. You're doing this as nonprofit because you're so motivated to get messages like this out there. I also know that you're looking for stories of motivation and hope. If somebody has such a story or would like to make a contribution to your effort, do they go to the same website, or is there some other place to go?
No, that's correct. If they want to make a contribution in terms of donations, we do have a donation page. It is all secured, tax deductible. Mm-hmm. We are always looking for story ideas, and they can send an email at the same email, info@triplenotproductions.org.
Mm-hmm. Brian, I commend you for what you're doing. I thank you for what you're doing. I thank you for everybody at Autism Hangout for what you're doing, and for the parents yet to be, when they get that grim news, to find out it's really not so grim. There is cause for hope, and it is possible to thrive with autism. So again, thank you for coming here today and telling us your story.
Thank you, Craig. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for what you're doing, because it's individuals such as yourself that help us out as well.
Thank you. I share your motivation and your passion. And Autism Hangout, thank you for tuning in. I'll be back again soon with another special report.